Hey everybody, Andrew Parnell here with Early Bird Software. Just wanted to talk through a few things with you today, going through some data science concepts and how those can apply to your business. So today I want to address something called natural language processing. You may have heard of this before. Sometimes people refer to it as NLP, which is just short for natural language processing. So I'm going to walk through today what that is at its most basic level and how that's relevant to your business and how you might be able to use it. So, natural language processing is basically the concept of taking natural human language, so words that we would use in conversation or words that people would use in descriptions, and having a system like a computer go through and analyze those words and then be able to pull out basic meaning or basic concepts from that paragraph. There's different levels of complexity there. Some of the most advanced natural language processing can be used in artificial intelligence and chatbots, but really at its most basic level is being able to look at a set of words or paragraphs and be able to pull out some important meaning or keywords from what you're looking for there. So let's talk about how that might be able to help you out in your business. So I'm going to talk through three specific examples of things we've used in the past here at Early Bird. So one situation is in like an e-commerce play or in a marketing play. So let's take, for example, that you have a set of products and you want to start recommending products to your customers, potential customers. So what you have is a database of products. Let's call it 1 million products in your database. Now, each of those products has a description, but a description was written by a human being. It was written by a person. Let's take, for example, a product for an NFL fan. So let's say you have a Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion pennant. Something like that, a common gift that somebody might find at a sports store and be interested in. Now that description might say, celebrate the Eagles' historic Super Bowl win with this verified pennant for commemorating the historical victory over the Patriots in 2017. That's what the description might say. Now, what's interesting here is nowhere in that description does it say anything about football or sports. Now, as a human being the context of what that is, but it doesn't say those words in there, so you can't really exactly pull those out. But when somebody's searching, you may want to know to fit that product into a sports category or to show it up if somebody searches for football. So how do you do that? So that's where the natural language processing comes in. So what you can do is you can basically plug in this system or plug in this learning and say, look at this description, look at this paragraph description of every product in our database, and then pull out some tags. You can create your own tags in there, your own keywords, or sometimes there are libraries and public APIs you can hit that have these keywords. There's a variety of ways to do it, but basically the system would take in that paragraph describing the Super Bowl win and the pennant for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it would shoot things back. So the keywords you might get back from that would be football, sports, athletics maybe, home decor, different things that it knows what it's talking about. So that's where the natural language processing comes in. So the next time someone goes on a site and searches football decor, the system will know to recommend that Philadelphia Eagles pennant, even though nowhere in the description did it say anything about that. Another example would be for processing orders. For example, you have about 1,000 SKUs and you're going through this process and you get a lot of your orders going in through email. You don't have an automated system or maybe your customer base doesn't use it, so they're sending in emails describing what types of products they use. Now, normal human beings don't often use the actual SKU number when ordering the product they want. A lot of times they'll just describe it. So let's say you're selling medical devices and someone wants to have a certain type of syringe that they're ordering for a hospital or a doctor's office, and they want 10,000 of them. Well, that doctor's office might send you an email with a paragraph description saying, hey, it was great to work with you. The products have been great so far. We're very happy with them. And we need about 1,000 more of those syringes that we got, the nice metal ones that are a couple inches long and support 500 milliliters, something like that. And that's the email you get. Well, as it is right now, what most companies do is you'll have someone whose responsibility it is to go through their email, read that email order that came in, read the whole email, try to understand it, and then figure out, okay, which one of our 1,000 SKUs in our product database are they talking about? And you can go through and, maybe an experienced person can do that pretty quickly, but really you're going to have the effort of a human being going through and finding that and trying to match that product. So this is where natural language processing can help as well. So let's say instead of having somebody read through those emails, before it gets to your email, you have your system basically run through those emails and say, okay, let's take the content of the body of this email and let's do some natural language processing on it and compare that against our product database. So you're tying it to your specific product database and you're telling the system, use the processing of the language in this email, compare it to our product database and what comes out. And what you might see there is it'll pull the keywords and it'll look at the words of the thing and saying, they mentioned a syringe, they know it's 500 milliliters and they know it's about this long, it's this color, they mention this material. Using those words that have been used in those emails, you can actually compare that to the database and the system will be pretty confident about which product it is. Now, it's not always 100%. It's not just going to say it's guaranteed to be this product and nothing else. But what natural language processing usually comes with is a confidence score. So in this example, maybe instead of having to go through that email every time, it'll come back and say, we're 95% sure it's talking about this metal syringe that's 500 milliliters, and maybe 5% sure that it could be this metal clamp that also supports a 500 milliliter something else. It could be, but usually what you can look at then is say, okay, well, I just saved a bunch of time. Now, instead of reading, let's say you get 500 of these emails a day, I don't have to read 500 of these emails. I can just get a list sent to me that says, anything over 95% confidence, just go ahead and place the order without me looking at it, and show me anything that the system was, in the 50 to 80% confidence range, and I'll just be able to review those one at a time very quickly. Now, even in that situation, what you did was save yourself maybe 8 hours worth of work running through those emails, and you can do it in about 15 minutes. So you can save a lot of time and energy doing that. The last example I want to talk about for natural language processing is for individuals or personal information. So let's say, for example, you want to find a match. You want to find somebody who's a good person in your network, or you want to find a good employee or a good customer that matches a certain description. Well, there's ways to do this. You can look at their job description, you can look at their job title and their company. Let's say you go on LinkedIn and you look at someone's job title and company. Now, that can be pretty good, a pretty good example of what that person does, but a lot of times job titles aren't really descriptive of what somebody does, and a lot of times companies can do a variety of different things. So let's say somebody is a senior manager at Kraft Foods. Well, you really don't know whether that person is an HR manager and they're skilled in working with people, or whether they're an engineering manager or a food manager and is actually working on the food line creating new products and, the R&D department. Or maybe they're in sales and they're a manager in sales and they're somebody who's going out and selling new products to the market. You really don't know from that. So what you can use with natural language processing here is if, let's say, you're a recruiting company and you're trying to find the right person to fit a specific role, in that example, looking at their job title and the company they work for wouldn't really help you. All three of those people are going to be managers at Kraft Foods, and you don't really know which one is a good fit for the job you're looking for. So what you can use natural language processing here is you can take a variety of information. If you have their resume, you can plug their resume in, but if you also have even descriptions of things they have on their LinkedIn, so maybe previous job posts, things they've been sharing, other content that they've put out, variety of things. Anything you have access to, you can plug into a system, and you can tell it maybe some categories you're looking for. So you're looking for specific keywords or specific job titles that you want to compare it against, or specific areas. Let's say you have categories of you want somebody in sales experience, or you're looking for a food engineer. Well, what you can do with the system after you feed that in is the system can look through and say, all right, this is the person's job title and company, but let's dig a little deeper. Here's posts they've shared, here's descriptions, here's recommendations that other people who have worked with them have provided, and here are some of the keywords that have come back. And based on the list that you provided me of whether somebody's a salesman, whether I'm looking for someone in sales, looking for someone in food service, or looking for somebody in HR, you can actually have the system tell you, well, this is a 95% match to HR based on the words that they've used in their description, based on the words they've used in their resume, based on the words that their colleagues have recommended to them, and it's only a 5% match to sales because certain terms and certain language did not fit a sales profile. So then you can save yourself some time, you can save yourself some energy, and be able to quickly evaluate individuals who may match the criteria you're looking for a lot quicker and a lot more accurately than you may be able to by digging through every individual resume and having to find that information on yourself. So those are just some quick examples of natural language processing. I'm sure there's other ways that you can do it in your business, but just wanted to go through and hope this is helpful to understand how natural language processing might be useful in your business. Thanks, and see you next time.